Hey, welcome to the very first video of Silverwill Yarn with Tracy Bray and CJ Bloomer.
Hey!
Hey! Alright, so what we're first going to do is we're going to talk about the different types of wool out there. Starting with the fine wool.
Damn, girl, that's fine.
Damn straight it's fine. That's some sexy wool right there.
Oh, so sexy.
Alright, so what makes this a fine wool? A fine wool is determined by the microns. Do you know what microns are?
No, you should explain.
Microns are the width of each individual fine fiber. The teeny tiny width.
Really?
Yes. So tiny that you have to get it sent off and measured by a super smart guy.
Like a scientist or something?
Yep.
Wowbee.
Since we don't have a scientist, we can just guess. And I can tell you this is a fine wool.
Damn, that is pretty fine.
So, some of the major breeds that are considered fine wool breeds are Cormo, Merino, and Corriedale.
Really?
Yeah, this particular one happens to be a Cormo.
Oh, well, that's neat.
It is neat.
It is really fun.
It is, because it's a fine wool.
So you're saying like cashmere and silk are even finer than that?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
So what makes a fine wool other than its size?
Oh no.
Notice the crimp.
Oh yeah, that's pretty crimpy.
Those are some crimpy wools.
Crimpy. Like a crinkle cut french fry.
Yes, if I put the Majestic Quarter next to it,
Wow.
you can see how tiny those crimps are.
That is rather tiny.
It is rather tiny. Now those tiny little crimps really have to do with how you can spin the yarn.
How so?
Because those tiny little crimps are going to match up when you spin the yarn. So the tinier the crimps are, the tinier you can get your yarn.
Really?
Yep.
Do you have any examples?
I have a few, such as this.
Oh, well, wow, that's pretty crazy, even though you can't see it yet.
Ta-da!
Oh, snap.
See how tiny those bumps are?
That's pretty tiny. That's a nice boucle you got there.
It is a boucle. You have a good eye, sir.
I try.
But as you can see, the tiny little lumpies match up with the crimps.
Oh, I guess so.
So if you have a larger wool with larger crimps, you're going to make a thicker wool. And that makes a good balance.
You got any examples of that we could see?
Yes, we'll see them later when we get to the long wools.
Okay.
But for now, let's talk about fine wools. A fine wool typically has more grease than other fleeces.
That doesn't look too greasy to me.
No, this is a washed one. That's why it's nice and glowy white and not sticky and smelly.
You mean smelly in a bad way?
I mean smelly in a good lanolin way.
Ooh.
Yeah. But another bad thing is that they're also highly feltable. So while you're trying to get all that waxy, sticky grease out, you're also going to have to worry about felting it.
So I shouldn't put it in hot water and then agitate the crap out of it, right?
No, what you should do is wash it many times very gently in very hot water with no agitation. Just soak it, bring it out, and put it in another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty easy not to felt stuff.
Oh, okay. Everybody's always telling me how easy it is to felt stuff.
Yes, but that's only when you do it wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a nice soft wool because it's nice and small.
Oh.
Yeah, also notice the bright color. That's typical of a fine wool.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Alright, let's move on to the long wools. We'll leave the Majestic Quarter where he is.
Okay.
This is an example of a long wool, which is not typically long necessarily, but it's just pretty much Any other wool that doesn't fit into the other categories?
Alright. What kind of wool is that?
This is a mixed breed wool.
Oh,
Most of it is a Lancaster.
Lancaster Blueface Leicester? What?
Yeah,
One of those, right?
one of those. Leicester, Lincoln, and Coopsworth are considered long wools.
Really?
Yes, noticed the locks. Ooh, locks. It's kind of like dreadlocks, but on sheep.
Or if you had a crazy perm.
Yeah, one of those. So because of these locks, we can actually spin it like this if we really wanted to.
Really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it makes a different type of yarn than the yarn that we card, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, we'll do that some other day.
For
Hey,
sure.
maybe you could show me that crazy crimp next to the really tiny crimp.
Yes.
Holy crap. That's some crazy different sized crimp.
It is. See how tiny this one is versus
Yeah.
how big that one is?
Yeah,
That's the
crazy.
different size wools that we're going to get.
Wow. Crazy time.
It is crazy times. Sometimes long wools don't have any crimp at all.
Really?
Yep.
Do you have any examples of that?
I've got this one. See?
Oh, what is that?
This is Icelandic,
Oh,
which is also a hair wool.
really?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about hair wools later too.
Oh,
Long wool.
ooh, so long.
Yeah.
Mm.
So long wools, they can felt, but they're not as easy to felt as fine wool. They're lustrous and have a longer staple length and have good wear to them.
What the devil's a staple length?
Staple.
For people that don't know.
The staple length is the length of the wool the other way. So now we're talking about microns in the width, and staple length is the length.
Oh, so it's from the tips to where it attaches to the sheep.
Yeah, that's the staple length.
Okay.
The longer the staple length, the less ends that you're going to have when you spin. And the less ends equal nice and soft.
And stronger too, I'd venture to say.
For sure.
Whoa.
Look at this.
Oh.
This is a Lincoln.
Oh.
See
like
how...
an Abraham Lincoln?
Kind of, but it's a Lincoln sheep.
Oh. It didn't get assassinated, did it?
No,
Yeah.
it's still healthy and alive.
Woohoo.
But see how long this is? This is almost a 6-inch staple length.
That's really crazy long.
It is really crazy long. And look what beautiful colors. Tan to brown to gray.
No, that's magnificent.
It sure is. That's long wools. Downy wools. Now we're on to downy wools.
Wow, it looks like a piece of cotton.
Yeah, it's just kind of a spongy, flat-colored wool. Typically, downy wools are created by dual-purpose sheep.
Dual purpose, what does that mean?
That means you can eat them or you can shear them.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Lamb's mighty tasty, you know.
I reckon you have to cull the herd some way for genetic quality.
For sure. So, now that we've got a nice spongy wool, it's not very soft, but it's definitely springy.
What kind of wool is that?
Oh, this is a chevet.
Oh, I've seen those around in people's fields.
Yes, a lot of people have chevets.
They must be easy to care for.
Fancy people call them chevois.
Ooh, fancy.
Yes. But since we're in Kentucky, we call them chevets.
I reckon so.
So another nice thing is they don't felt very well.
Oh, I'd say not.
So these are some of the best wools for socks because they're springy, they go back to their original shape, and they don't shrink.
No, it looks like that'd be kind of scratchy.
Yeah, it's scratchy. But that's just the way it is. Do you know why it's scratchy?
It looks like there's a lot of pieces of it in crazy corkscrew shapes.
There is. Those, instead of being wavy and kinky like the fine wool, this is in a spiral shape.
Oh, I see. Look at that. Oh, if you could hold it still. Whoa. That is crazy.
It is crazy. So that also makes it very scratchy, but it also makes it very tough and warm.
So you could garrote somebody with that, right?
If it's ninja weight.
Aha!
Ah. Alright. There's also other types. This, back to our Icelandic wool.
Ooh, Cock.
is a pretty nice wool, but it's unique
How so?
because it actually has hair in it.
Where's this hair? Isn't wool hair?
Wool is not technically hair, no.
Why not?
Because wool is not shed.
Oh, I guess so.
So see this?
Where?
Right there.
Oh, that big white thing?
Yes, that is a hair.
Really?
Yeah, typically, primitive breeds have hair mixed in with their wool. Primitive breed is a breed that's a very old breed. Some of the first breeds of sheep.
Really?
Yes, like Icelandic,
Ooh.
Churro, and Blackface.
Oh, I heard those Isalu sheep in Norway are like that too.
Yes, for sure.
Huh. Well, there you go.
So they're kind of cool.
That is
Now,
cool.
you have a choice. You can pick out these hairs, or you can leave them in. But I figured if the Vikings are tough enough to deal with the hairs, I am too.
That's right. We are in Kentucky after all.
Woo! So,
Got any examples of that?
yes, I do have some. This is a spun Icelandic.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, where's the...
There we go.
I see the hairs kind of sticking out.
Yeah, the hairs might make it a little scratchy, but it also makes it really tough.
Hold on, let me feel that junk. Oh, goodness. Oh, that's actually rather soft.
Yes, it's actually a very cool wool.
Huh. Why is that?
I don't know, that's just the way Icelandic sheep are.
Hey, it must be something with the hollows of the fibers or something.
Probably.
I'm not a scientist, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, we might know a little bit.
Yeah,
What we don't know, we'll just make up.
That's right.
Alright. Now, of course, we all know that there's other type of animals that make fiber.
Like what?
Like the majestic alpaca.
Oh, everybody's buying alpacas now.
Yes, alpaca's so in this year.
What's the difference between an alpaca and a llama?
An alpaca is actually typically used for fiber, where an alpaca or llama is used for packing.
Oh yeah? Is their hair thicker?
Yeah, it's not as soft as alpacas.
Huh. Well, there you go.
So this is an alpaca called a hakaya.
Oh. Well, that's neat. Aren't those the normal ones you see all over the place?
Yeah, those are the typical ones that you normally will see. They're bigger,
But not as big as a llama.
but not as big as a llama.
I see.
So
But
there's
they
also,
spit on you just the same.
for sure. So there's also another type of alpaca called a Surrey.
Oh. What? It's not. It's all locked. It
Yeah.
looks like people hair.
Yeah, it's got locks, and it's also way smoother. It almost feels like silk.
Oh wow, yeah, it looks like the micron is very small on it.
Yes, it's teeny tiny.
I heard that the Surrey alpacas make up only 10% of the alpaca population
They
in
do.
the world.
But they got some nice froze.
They are pretty ugly.
Yep, they're also smaller, so whenever you go to buy a fleece, you're going to get a lot less.
True.
But it's
This is
oh
nice.
so soft.
Ooh.
So, that's some of the different types of fiber that you typically see in America.
Indeed.
So, we'll leave you with the majestic quarter to send you on your way.
Not endorsed by the U.S. government.